Morning yoga at the MMA Lab. I'm Jackie, and we're going to get started in a little bit. So I'll give you some time to get your props ready. 2 blocks or 2 items in your house that are firm and likely similar size. So books are really helpful, or if you have the actual yoga blocks or buckets or anything like that would be really good. And then make sure you have your yoga belts, or yoga strap we call it, or your BJJ belt handy today. Also, a blanket or a towel, just something for a little bit of padding if your mat isn't thick enough to protect the tops of your knees. That's at your discretion, not totally necessary. But when you're ready, grab your belongings, your props, and we'll come on down to lying on your back. Keep your strap handy on the right side of your body. And we'll find lying on the back in your Shavasana type shape. Legs spread, touching the bottom corners of your mat. Palms resting face up and eyes closed. And if you can feel yourself a little too effervescent this morning, you need a little grounding energy. We'll take the left hand to the heart, right hand to the low belly. And no matter what we've chosen, whatever shape we're in, we'll just begin to focus on the breath here. Inhaling through the nose, feel the belly rise. Exhale. Feel yourself spreading into the support of the mat beneath you. Beginning to draw the breath a little deeper. Exhale to match. Notice that the exhale has a nice calming, cooling effect on the body. We might need that later throughout our practice. And just observe any tension that may remain. Take a full body physical, mental, and emotional scan. Top of the head to the tips of the toes. See if you can soften something that's gripping and doesn't need to be. We'll set our intention for this morning's practice. Will be a hamstring heavy focus today. 45 minutes of button pushing, if you will. And remember, throughout the course of this practice, the poses are here to present you with challenges, places to practice. Some will be what you might think is easy, some might be what you think is hard. They're not meant to define you. Rather, they're meant to help you. Throughout the course of those poses, pay most attention to what's happening in the muscle between the ears. Taking 3 more cleansing breaths. Inhale. Openness and opportunity. Exhale. Space and kindness. And vowing to be kind to yourself throughout this practice, no matter what shape you find yourself in. After that next exhale, go ahead and bend into both knees. Give yourself a little hug, wrapping the hands to the fronts of the shins, a little rocking side to side. And let the eyes begin to flicker open. We'll go ahead and set the left foot down on the floor, keeping both knees bent. Hug the right knee gently in toward the right armpit. You can twirl out the right ankle, making circles as big as you need them to be. Just waking up that groin, that hamstring area. Let the shoulders stay pinned to the mat. And then reach down and we'll find our strap. So go ahead and unravel it and find the halfway point on your strap. We'll place it at the base of the foot, so the ball of the foot, right where the toes meet the rest of the foot here. Keeping the arms nice and straight and the hands loosely holding onto the strap. As you exhale, you can straighten into the right leg, slacking out the strap. Again, I want my arms to remain as straight as possible here. And if I need more tension, I can start to walk my hands up. If you've gone too far and you feel too much strain, it's a little early here on the hamstrings, we'll just relax some of that slack, let the shoulders settle into the sockets. And we keep pressing. I want the action to be to press the big toe away. Big toe mound opening up toward the ceiling. The inhale, we can start to drive the heel toward the bottom of your mat. Shoulders stay pinned, and as you breathe and exhale, maybe space opens up and you can walk the hands a little further up toward the toes. Maybe we can straighten the left leg straight on the mat. Keeping that left inner thigh engaged, rolling that left inner thigh toward the ceiling, big toe points toward the ceiling. Inhale again, engage the right heel toward the bottom of the mat. Just send that energy, feel the thigh engage. And then exhale, maybe the toes sail over toward the back wall behind you just a little bit more. We'll use the breath to get there. One more inhale. Hello, hamstrings. Exhale, transfer both ends of the strap to the right hand. If you've got the toes, it's yoga toe lock. First two fingers between the first two toes. And then we'll exhale, drop the right leg out and open to the side, keeping both shoulders glued to the mat. And that right leg might stay hovering just above the floor, a little or a lot. Find your place. And engagement again is the toes toward the wall behind you. And we exhale, settle into that inner thigh. Inhale, keep pushing away with the big toe mound. Draw the pinky toe towards your face, and exhale, soften something while preserving the integrity of the pose. Stay out of judgment of how you want this to be. Using the next inhale, we'll float the leg back to center. Go ahead and relax the strap to the left side. Bend into the knee, and we'll take a little reclined twist here. So dropping the left knee side of the body. My back pops and cracks just a little bit. Maybe you can look over the right shoulder. Gentle twist. Inhale back to center. Well-deserved hug. It's early. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today. And then we'll relax the right foot down to the floor, hugging the left knee in toward the left armpit, twirling out the ankle, point and flex, point and flex. And then reach down and find your strap. Second side, placing the center of the strap at the ball of the foot. Make sure you capture all those toes and you're securely in there. Shoulders stay glued to the mat. Arms are straight, and exhale, start to kick the left foot away, pushing more through the big toe side of the foot than the pinky toe. Inhale, drag the heel toward the bottom of the mat. Exhale, relax and let the toes go overhead. Inhale. Zip up the belly. And exhale, maybe we straighten the right leg, rolling that inner right thigh toward the ceiling. Feel where that is in space, so we keep that bottom leg active here. Hands can begin to walk up closer toward the toes if it's available. And if you've gone too far right, it's okay. Slack it out. Let the arms be straight. Shoulders glued to the sockets. Breath is full and spacious. Maybe we close the eyes, take that attention all the way inside. And with the same level of focus as we exhale, transfer both ends of the strap to the left hand. Right arm can come out for balance. And we exhale, drop the left leg off to the left side. Continue that tension, that urging of the left toes behind you. And again, finding your place. Maybe it's yoga toe lock, wherever you were on the other side. Make space for the fact it might be different, but it's a good starting point. Inhale, relax the place between the eyebrows. As you exhale, soften something that doesn't need to be gripping. Maintain this kindness. Inhale, bring it back to center. Go ahead and set your strap off to the side. Keep it pretty close by. Bending into the left knee, we'll take that gentle recline twist, dropping the left knee across the body to the right, maybe gaze over the left shoulder. Deep belly breath. Inhale everything back to center. Hands at the knees. You can rock and roll or just take it to fetal position to your right, however you'd like to arrive to seated on your mat. And here we'll start in a kneeling posture called hero pose, a variation. You can take a block between the heels if you'd like to set up a little taller. If this is excruciating, of course, you can just lay with the legs straight out or sit with the legs kicked straight out. Or you can tuck the toes and sit up on the heels. We'll just close the eyes for a moment. Hands resting in the lap, fingers interlaced up to the webbing, shoulders gliding down the back. And with an inhale, keeping the hands clasped, let's raise the arms up overhead. It's okay that the arms be bent here. Invert the hands so the palms press toward the ceiling. And inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears. As you exhale, draw the blades down and away as you bend the elbows, touching the backs of the fingers to the top of your head. Inhale, straighten them up. Exhale, drop it down, bend the elbows. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale, press it away. And exhale, rest the hands on top of the head as you inhale here. Tuck the tail, lean back, and press the booty onto the heels or the block. As you exhale, we'll just gently rock the right elbow toward the ground. Feel the left elbow go toward the ceiling. Open up the left side waist. Inhale back up center and rock over to the left. Leaning over to the left. Back up center. One more time right. And one more time left. Back up center. As you exhale, let the gaze softly float open, hands to heart center. And we'll move to hands and knees. So finding the wrist creases underneath the shoulders to begin. Inhale to cow pose, lift the tail, drop the belly, shine the heart. Keep that action of sliding the heels of our hands back toward our knees. As you exhale, we'll tuck the tail, round through the back body and try to push the fingertips toward the top of the mat. Inhale to cow. And to cat. Really push through the tops of the feet, through the heels of the hands. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Take a moment to sink the hips to the heels. Find child's pose. Relax the forehead all the way down to the mat. If it doesn't come easily, go ahead and make a pillow for the forehead out of hands or out of a block, or an actual pillow because you're home. Feel that length that you've gently created through both side waists. And notice it took softness to get there. And with the next inhale, we'll roll it back up. Here's where I'd like you to have a blanket if the knees are sensitive. So just take a blanket for a little bit of cushion and lay it beneath the knees. Come to kneeling on the blanket if you have it, and we'll find tabletop position. Starting by stepping our right foot forward between the hands for this low crescent pose. Blocks available if you'd like them, so the hands can rest beneath the shoulders. So from here, I always cue this to drop the hips evenly down and forward, and I want you to keep that. And I usually give the option to tuck toes or not be tucked. Today I want you to untuck them. That's what the blanket's there for, because you'll notice the kneecap immediately takes on the brunt of that weight. As we drop the hips down and forward, hands walk up to the knee. Now take the focus to the top of the left big toe. As you press that toenail into the mat and suck the inner thighs toward the midline of the body, toward each other, notice how you almost lift up out of the pose a little bit. I want that action. Notice the engagement of the core. You tuck through the tail, slide the shoulders down the back, press through the top of the big toe. And then exhale, drop the hips down and forward, let that go. See if space presented itself a little bit more. We'll try that one more time. Inhale, engage, press through the toenail, glide the inner thighs toward each other. And if it's in the practice to reach the arms up overhead, soften that and drop the hips down and forward to your low crescent lunge. Cactus arms are here as well. One more inhale. Tuck that tail, zip up the belly, and maybe find some more length through the back body, through the spine. And as you exhale here, we'll plant the hands back again on the blocks, straighten into the right leg, maybe fingertips to the floor, whatever's available for you. And immediately I notice that if my hips shift back past my knee, I need to sort of scrub my right heel forward to make space for that 90 degrees at my hip. Here I'll pull my toes back toward my nose. And again, if we need some length here, we'll drag the shoulders around the spine, offer the collarbones, the heart shines forward like a flashlight trying to shine it on the wall in front of us. Trying to urge the right hip back, left hip slightly forward, toes back towards your nose, and you can windshield wipe side to side for the IT band here. Oh yeah. And we'll soften and let that go. Bending back into the right knee. Plant the hands. Step back to the top of a push-up, or we can release the knees down to the floor. As you exhale, we'll slowly bend the elbows straight back alongside the body, lower the whole piece down to the mat. Untucking the toes here, lengthen out from the tops of the hips through the tips of the toes. The palms are going to rest just below the elbows here, or just at the low ribs, elbows bent, guiding toward the back of the room. Shoulders stay away from the ears for baby cobra. Inhale. Even though your belly is impacted by this lying on your tummy here, take the breath deep into the back body as you lift the heart, lift the gaze to cobra pose. Neck stays at neutral. Tops of the toes press. One more inhale. And we'll exhale, lower down. Relax one ear to the mat, maybe a pillow for the forehead, and shimmy out side to side. We'll take it up one more time to cobra pose. Palms plant beneath the shoulders. Feet can split as wide as your mat. Make space for the tailbone. We tuck the tail, root through the pubic bone, and the arms to or toward straight. Elbows still tracking alongside the rib cage here. Neck again at neutral. Gaze past the edge of your mat. Here we want the elbows to start to drag back toward my hips as I drag my hips toward the top of my mat. And exhale, lower down. Bring the thumbs back in line with the ribs. We'll tuck the toes. You can come up through hands and knees, all the way up to the top of a push-up. And exhale, hips up to downward facing dog. Walk this first one out. Explore that length in the side waist or the lack thereof. Maybe we need a little more opening. We're not warm enough yet. There's a deep bend in the knees. Notice the hamstring on the right side might feel different from the one on the left. Different, not better, not worse, just different. And as you lift the gaze, release the knees back to the mat. Find the knees resting on your blanket once more. Blocks to the top of your mat within reach, and we'll take our second side. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Find your blocks as you drop the hips down and forward. Untucking the back toes so that the right big toenail is resting on the mat. Hands can walk up to the left thigh. Shoulders down the back, tuck the pubic bone. Inhale, press into the top of the big toe as you hug everything toward the midline, rising up out of the pose. Feel that contraction. And then exhale, drop hips down and forward. One more inhale, press into the big toe. Inner thighs squeeze, maybe a little bit of shaking. And then exhale, send the fingertips up overhead, reach for the sky. Core is still engaged here. Find that little bit of a cat back if you can think about that here. Lifting the heart skyward, and then exhale, keep that length. Straighten the left leg and find half splits. Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits pose. And I'll make that adjustment, scrub my left heel forward, pull my toes back toward my nose. Point and flex, side to side, whatever feels right here. Take this first one with the spine nice and long, not really folding actively. Pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Shining the flashlight on the front of the wall in front of you. Find some stillness, deep breath. Bend again into the left knee, plant the hands, step it back, top of a push-up. Maybe you hold the top this time. And then exhale, we'll lower the knees, lower the heart all the way down. You can take either one of the back bends we just did, or I'd like to workshop up dog a little bit today. So for up dog, the thumbs come to the low ribs here. And very important, I'm going to stay on the tops of my toenails, so toes pointed. Heels are rocking in toward each other, so it takes the kink out of my back. It's very active. That engagement that we've been doing in our crescent pose is really important here. So press through the toenails, elbows engaged to the back of the room, push into the palms, and we lift the heart forward and up. So a little bit of dumping into my back here. I used to have this problem. I'd let my heels fall apart from each other. I was having a lot of back pain. To counteract that, heels toward each other, tuck the pubic bone, shoulders away from the ears. Knees are off the mat here. It's not such a back bend, it's kind of like reminds me of like an airplane taking off. It's like a long flat line with a little bit of lift up by the heart. So one more inhale here. And as we exhale here, send the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Walk this out. Shake out through the head and neck. Wag the tail, pedal through the feet, whatever feels nice. So now you have 3 back bends potentially in your arsenal, at the very least 2. So we'll come back to that as we move through our sun salutations in a moment. Looking up between the thumbs, we'll walk our feet to our hands. Set the blocks at the top of the mat. Since we're in this forward fold, the head's hanging heavy, we may reach up behind us and find that Yoga Mudra clasp. This is a nice place for the belt if you'd like it, if it's still available. We can take the belt one end in either hand, walking the hands toward each other, find the elbows go straight, knuckles press away, and exhale, we let the hands come up overhead a little or a lot. Rocking the weight to the toes more than the heels. Feel it's a heart opener with a forward fold. You got this. One more inhale here. Exhale, return the hands to the low back when they touch. Relax the clasp of the hands or lay the strap at your side. Inhale, we roll to rise, stack vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Coming all the way to standing, big reach. Hands together at heart center. Close the eyes. Samastitihi, bring it together. And with the next exhale, let the gaze float open. Moving through just one round of sun salutation to get the blood flowing again. We'll inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, soft knees, swan dive, fold. Inhale to a long flat back. Fingertips to shins or fingers at the floor. Look for the horizon. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step both feet back. Top of a push-up. Option to lower the knees or lower the whole thing down all the way to the mat, or hold in chaturanga 90 degrees at the elbows. Inhale to push forward off the toes for upward facing dog, or if the knees are on the ground, it's cobra or king cobra, baby cobra or king cobra. As you exhale, flip the hips, down facing dog. Inhale, look up between the hands, walk the feet to the top of the mat. Long flat back. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, roll to rise or reverse the swan dive. Big reach. Heart center. Inhale, big reach here. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale to your long flat back. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. You can do a flow or come right to down dog. It's up to you. We'll meet in down dog as you are ready. Notice that this down dog might feel a little bit nicer. We've had a little bit of movement. And when you're ready, inhale the right leg high to three-legged dog. And notice here the hips are going to stay square at first. Like I might see my right big toe just beneath my knee. Lift the heel a little bit higher. Point the toe. Now stack the hip. Feel that as you fold the right hip on top of the left. Bend the knee. Let the heel drop towards your seat for fire hydrant. Begin to draw some circles on the ceiling with your knee. The armpits are still shining at the mat, pressing the chest back towards your left thigh. As you exhale, pull the nose to the knee, knee to nose, big step through all the way, as many steps as it takes. For that runner's lunge, set the back heel down and cartwheel all the way up to warrior two. You can do it. We don't need no warrior one here. So from here, notice that the body is, or the spine is elongated and is at center. Palms are facing toward the mat. And then take the gaze forward over the right middle finger. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Glance down, make sure you can see your right big toe just past your right knee. To reverse this warrior, flip the right palm, reach forward, up and back. Keep that deep lunge into your right knee. That right thigh is working toward parallel with the mat. As you exhale, cartwheel the right down on top of the right thigh. Keep prying the right knee open as you reach up through the left side, left fingertips. The right side stays nice and firm here so the spine can stay long, and you may extend this side angle. If we've been here before and you'd like a little more, maybe a block to the inside of the right ankle, or fingertips tented all the way down to the floor inside your right ankle, sorry. And if you're feeling very warm, because we've warmed up the shoulders a little bit, and that right elbow is beneath the right thigh, we can take the bind here. So turn the left palm behind, bend and sweep. Maybe bend the right elbow underneath the right thigh and reach back. There's your fingers, there's your wrist. Draw the shoulders down and away from the ears again. Lean back and maybe take the gaze toward the ceiling. Again, these poses are here just to push your buttons. Notice where you are is exactly where you need to be. Nothing is better or worse than anything else. Just be breathing. If we're in the bind, go ahead and release. Inhale to straighten the right leg, push the ground away. Reverse triangle. So 2 straight legs, reach for the back wall. Feel that long right side waist. Keep that spaciousness as you exhale. Tuck the left hip to the left, reach the fingertips as far as you can to the right. We cartwheel the right hand down to the shin, to the block, or to the floor. The alignment here is the wrist is underneath my shoulder. And it's like I'm holding a broomstick between both my hands. Reaching, pushing through the right fingertips, reaching through the left. And again, if we've got the block here, hold it, keep it. Floating the left hand down to the left hip. This has a nice grounding effect to it. Feel yourself come back to your body. We soften into the right knee, take the gaze past the right big toe a little or a lot, usually about 18 inches is where it is for me. Start to bend into the right knee, and we'll shoot the right hand forward, placing the block beneath the shoulder once more. I drag my left toes, and then find some lightness, stacking the left hip again. And find your place here for Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. Start to roll the heart open to the left wall. Maybe we can finish by reaching through the left fingertips. And if you fall out of it, it's just a test. Be kind about it and come right back. Maybe smile about it. Keep trying to kick the wall behind you with the surface of that left foot. One more inhale here. Exhale. Take both hands to the mat. Square the left hip off with the floor. In what's called a standing L. Inhale, pack the shoulders around the spine, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you exhale, you might move toward a standing split. Start to walk the hands back toward the standing leg as the left toes go high. This is a suggestion. A lot of us will continue to look like standing L. If you like standing split, we start to fold the forehead toward the nose and lift the left toes toward the ceiling. Challenging the balance more, you can reach one or both hands to the standing right ankle. One more inhale here. Exhale, look forward. Plant the hands firmly. Deep bend into the right knee as you crouch, taking the left knee behind the right. Lower down so much, you can set the left shin down on the mat. And I'll drop my hips between my heels here. If this didn't work out so well, rock over to the left side and straighten the left leg beneath you. We're going toward half Lord of the Fishes. It's a seated twist. So find some good purchase with the sit bones on the mat beneath you. Right fingertips come behind. The closer you get to the base of the spine, the more upright you might end up sitting. Inhale, reach up through the right fingertips, and exhale, hug the knee into the chest. Finishing with the gaze over the right shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale, complete the twist. And we'll inhale to unwind, take the counter pose. Walk the hands over to the left side of the mat, bow the forehead. And from here, if the left knee was bent, we're making a transition, or was straight, and we're making a transition toward pigeon pose. So we'll rock all the way over to our left side, uncross the leg, and make the shin parallel to the top corner of the mat, kicking the right leg all the way back behind you. If the bottom knee was bent, the transition's a little more straightforward as you just swing the right leg back. Now we'll take a look back and make sure that your right knee is right behind your hip, your heel is behind your knee. Everything's in a nice straight line. If it's not there, I tuck my toe, lift my knee, and I move it there. For safety reasons, my right ankle is at 90 degrees, no matter what, no matter the placement of my shin. The more parallel with the top edge of my mat I get, the more intense it will be. Now I check in with my left hip. If it's popped off the mat, I might stick a block or a pillow beneath it so that my hips can settle evenly into the ground. Fingertips walk back as I lift my heart, puff it up, proud pigeon. And exhale, start to pull the ground towards you as you melt the forehead down. Again, make that pillow, make this as soft as you can. Be kind and forgiving for the poses your body has already taken you through. None of that was easy. But did you breathe? Now's the time to bring softness and intention back. Using the next inhale and the strength of the arms. Walk your way back up to seated on that hip. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, and lift the left leg all the way up and back to three-legged dog on the second side. So starting with the hips square at first, lifting up out of the wrist creases, trying to bring the wrinkles out of the wrists. Glancing back at my right big toe, maybe see my left big toe beneath my knee. Then I'll lift my left heel a little more, point the toes, stack the hip, and find fire hydrant to this side. Circle it out, make it feel nice. Heel dropping heavily toward my seat. Exhale, curl the belly, bring the knee to the nose, step through, set the back heel down and all the way up. Powerful legs to warrior two. Grounding down through the outer edge of my right foot. You can see my knee, my left big toe just past my left knee. Reaching through the fingers like I mean it. Inhale, flip the palm, reach forward, up and back, reverse this warrior. Take that lunge a little deeper into the left knee till the thigh is parallel with the ground. Exhale, find your side angle. Probably something similar to where you were on the other side. Continue to hug the thighs toward the midline. Imagine spiraling the right inner thigh up toward the ceiling, activating the glutes. Find your place. Maybe you're extending the right arm, bicep beside the ear, reach for the top corner of the ceiling where it meets the wall. And maybe you're binding on this side as well. Make sure to preserve the integrity of the pose. Keep that long spine, heart extending. Maybe the gaze turns up toward the ceiling. Release the bind if we've got it. Leading with the right fingertips. Push the ground away, reverse this triangle. Keep the length in both side waists as you exhale. Right hips to the right. Tuck the left hip in and reach, reach, reach. Keep that length, cartwheeling the hands down to the block, the shin or the floor. Lean back into the shoulders as almost a tuck of the tail to zip the belly up and offer the heart longer. Maybe the gaze up towards your right thumb. Watch your thumb. Comes down to your right hip. Gentle bend into the left knee, take the gaze past your left big toe, about 18 inches. If we're on the block, we'll bring the block with us and shift the weight to the left foot only. Right toes begin to lift up off the mat. Right hip stacks on top of left, right shoulder stacks on top of left. Flex through the bottom of the foot, try to stand on the wall behind you. We might finish with our right fingertips. Square off the heart, relax the jaw, be breathing. And as we exhale, Slowly float the right hand down to the mat. Square the hips off for standing L. Inhale, long flat back. Exhale, your version of standing splits. Starting to bow the forehead toward the shin. Right toes go toward the ceiling. Maybe challenging balance a little more, bringing one hand or both to connect with the left standing leg. Point the toes. And exhale, release. Both hands plant firmly on the mat. Crouch deeply into the left knee as you try to bring the right knee just behind it. Fold it in, and then set it down. Come to seated. If this isn't working for the hips or anything here, the right leg can be extended. In either case, I want the hips to settle heavily onto the mat. Zip up the belly, left hand behind. Inhale, big reach. Exhale. Bring the knee into the chest and take the gaze over the left shoulder. Twist it out. One more inhale here. Maximum exhale into the twist. And release, counter pose. Moving toward that pigeon. So if the bottom knee is bent, we just swing that left hip all the way out to the side. Make that dramatic. You have to drop heavily to that right side for pigeon pose. If it's straight, we'll first step the left foot off, bend the knee, and use the hands to assist us. Looks like a break dance, kind of. Glance back over the left shoulder and make sure that the left leg is in a straight line behind you. Untuck the toes. Keep flexing 90 degrees at the ankles. And notice if that right hip is popping a wheelie, we'll stick a blanket, stick a pillow, stick something underneath there. Inhale, back, lift the heart. And exhale, fold it down. Some of these postures, we make our way there by strength and force, and sometimes we just need to let go and get out of the way. This is one of those. Soften the shoulders, unclench the jaw. And we'll use the inhale and the hands to walk your way back up. Tuck under the back toes, step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Nicely done. Shaking out through the head and neck, and we'll look forward. Big step through with your right foot to a runner's lunge. Let's grab the blocks so that they're handy here. Placing both hands on the blocks, find a setting that works good for you. Or books, whatever you've got. Inhale, pull the shoulders around the spine, lengthen through the crown of the head. Drop the hips down and forward. As you exhale, we'll straighten into the right leg and pull the hips back towards your left heel, trying to push the left heel into the mat. This will look different for everybody. Straight leg's a relative turn. Again, inhale, we'll bend and look forward. Exhale, straighten, pull the hips back. And one more inhale to bend. And exhale to straighten. Now if we've got hands on blocks, we're going to take the blocks with us, otherwise it's fingertips on the ground. As you keep this leg straight, as you bend this leg here, hands on blocks or floor, I want you to first walk the blocks back about 3 inches, and then scoot your left foot back about 3 inches. We're going to continue to do that. Blocks back, left toes back. Blocks back, left toes back, or fingertips back. You might find a stopping point, you might be there already. At some point we notice that the right toes want to flex towards your nose, and I urge you to do that as you scrub the right heel forward. Keep walking the blocks back beneath the shoulders. So with blocks or fingertips, we're moving, yeah, it's happening. You're moving toward a split. I tricked you, we got there. So continue to drop the hips down until we find an ending point. And for a lot of us, this might be a lot. We might be here. If we're all the way down, the goal is, of course, for safety first. Using these warm hamstrings, gotta use them for something. And again, these poses are not here to define you. It's a practice, not a perfect. It takes years to get a good split very often, so be kind to yourself. Breathe into it. I want that action. Pull the inner thighs together, feel yourself slightly rise up out of the pose, and then the exhale is to settle, drop the sit bones evenly toward the mat. If we're in the full split, we might be able to Lift the arms up off the mat and reach up overhead. It's not for everybody. Be in your practice. Be safe. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Use the strength of the arms to press into the blocks or the floor. Pull the inner thighs toward each other until the right leg bends again. And then with the hands on blocks or the floor, we'll step the right knee back beside the left. Release the hips to the heels. Nicely done. Let go of what happened on that side. Be open and receptive of what's to come. Gathering it all up, let's inhale back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. That hamstring feels a little more tenderized than my left one. So look up between the thumbs, walk your left foot to the top of the mat for runner's lunge. Taking the blocks again with you on whatever setting they need to be or where they might have been. And inhale, drop the hips down, deep bend into the left knee, shine the heart. Exhale, straighten both legs and fold over the left thigh. Again, inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten, pull the hips back, press the right heel to the mat. One more, inhale, bend. Think about both hips moving evenly toward the back wall. And one more time to bend. Here, hands to the blocks, or wherever we are, move the fingertips back and urge the right toes back. Keep the hips square. Again, fingertips back, toes back. Fingertips back, toes back. Keeping the blocks beneath the shoulders the whole way. And at some point, the left leg's got to get involved. Make a commitment. Pull the toes towards your nose. Scrub the heel forward. Staying supportive with the blocks or the fingertips beneath the shoulders. Finding your stopping point on this side. In yoga, we refer to this as the edge. In jiu-jitsu, it's like tapping. Self-tap yourself, do self-tapping basically. So safety, right? We make that agreement with our partners, make that agreement with yourself that you're gonna stop before something breaks or pops or it gets injured. You're in control of your own destiny here. One of the Gracies said, yoga is the martial art you do against yourself. I think it was a Gracie. I'll look that up. I'll get back to you. Did you forget about it for a second? Good, but be breathing. This too shall pass. One more, inhale. Fill it up. And exhale. Push the fingers into the mat. Start to lift the sit bones up and away. And we'll bend into the front leg. Start to urge the right knee forward. Step the left knee back beside the right. Come all the way down to seated on the heels. You did it. Way to go. Come on down to seated on the mat. Let's get our strap involved again. Blocks, we don't need these for now. No other props. Blanket, if it's been around, you can go ahead and get rid of it. We're just gonna start with a wide leg forward fold. Because we've already split it one way, let's split the other way. So take your wide leg straddle. And again, try to roll the inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Keep the toes flexed toward the ceiling. Fingertips here for support. Inhale, drop the shoulders down and away. Keep that length and we'll walk the hands forward. Keep that action. Roll the inner thighs up and toward the ceiling. Toes toward the ceiling. Recline the forehead down toward the ground. Being supported on the arms, maybe a block that feels really nice so you can relax the tension in the back of the neck. One more inhale, feel the length in both side waists. And using the strength of the arms, make your way back to seated. So extending both legs straight, moving toward Janu Shirshasana, and then what I've been calling crane pose, but it's not the arm balance version, it's the seated version. Spent a lot of time on the internet trying to find the Sanskrit name and I couldn't, so crane it is. Sole of the left foot into the inner thigh. And we'll take our trusted strap or belt and wrap it around our right base of the foot, just like before. Ends of the strap and run in my right hand. My elbow drops to the inside of my right knee or thigh. My left arm goes up overhead, reaching over and toward my toes. If the strap is a little bit redundant here, it might be yoga toe lock. Just be where you are. Trying to root the right heel into the, or left hip bone into the mat. Long left side waist. Shoulders away from the ears, keep that length. And left fingertips lead all the way back to seated. And we'll keep the sole of the left foot pressing into the inner right thigh, preparing for our crane pose. So bend into the right knee. And again, with the strap here at the base of the toes, shoulders pack down around the spine, just like where we were when we started. Shoulders stay in the sockets, and then we start to straighten into that right leg. Kick the ground away. Alternatively, if the foot's right here and we've got it with the length of the arms, it's right hand to the big toe side of the foot, thumb towards your body, left hand to the pinky toe side of the foot, thumb towards your body. Shoulders engage around the spine, lean back and kick away for that hamstring stretch. Relax something. Draw the shoulders down and away from the neck. Keep that long spine. Emphasis on pulling the big toe towards your face. One more inhale. And exhale. Bending into the right knee, set the foot back down, relax the strap. And we'll take our second side. Janu Shirshasana, side bend variation. Sole of the right foot into the left thigh. Strap around the base of the left toes. Left hand to both ends of the strap. Elbow can come inside of the knee or the thigh. Reach the right arm up overhead. Big arcing stretch. Reach for those toes. They don't have to connect. Just send the message. Leveraging that pull of the big toe towards your nose. Root through the right hip. Out through the fingertips. And inhale all the way back up to seated for our crane on the second side. Sole of the foot stays to the inner thigh. Bend into the left knee. Reapply your strap if it's needed, or we take that reversed twisted bind here. Shoulders stay packed into the sockets. And as you exhale, arms are straight. Go ahead and slack out the strap if we need to. And the gaze is at your left big toe. Little calf stretch here. Keep pushing through the big toe mound of the foot. Maybe even lift the left corner of your mouth. Lift the right corner. Soften the ears back over the shoulders. Shoulders down the back. Big belly breaths. And exhale to release. Well done. Set the strap off to the side, blocks away far enough that you won't touch them. Scoot the hips to the heels. We'll come down through Navasana, a little abdominal strength here. Hands at the knees. Arms extended and toes might hover. Anywhere is acceptable. You'll lower down to a count of 4, 3, get flat, 2, hold it, and 1. Stretch the arms up overhead, point through the toes, full body stretch. And we'll finish it off with a back bend, hands to the mat alongside your hips, soles of the feet to the floor. And we'll rock on top of one shoulder and then the other coming up to your bridge pose. So press through the heels, urge the kneecaps forward, spiral the inner thighs toward each other and down toward the mat. And if you like that Yoga Mudra clasp, we're right here, pressing the base of the skull into the mat, but the center of the chest towards your chin. The two will never touch. Lifting the fronts of the hips. One more nice big inhale here. And exhale, come off the shoulders, slowly roll it down. You can lift the heels to massage vertebrae by vertebrae. Walk the feet as wide as your mat and knock the knees over to the left. Windshield wipe to the right. We'll take one more back bend. You're invited to do bridge once more if that felt really great for you. If it didn't feel really great for you, you're kind of cooked. We take a block or a pillow beneath the sacrum, and you can stretch the legs long, let the heart be open, and this supported bridge. If you'd like more, we can move to full wheel shoulders. So for bridge, go ahead and push into the heels and find that Yoga Mudra clasp. Lift the hips. If it's full wheel, it's very important the fingertips come beneath the shoulders facing towards you, elbows toward the ceiling. We push into the feet and the hands all at once. Do not rest on your head. I don't like that cue. I don't like when people do that. And I can't see you, so don't do it. It makes me super nervous. If you have an urge to put your head down, I don't want you to do this pose. Be in bridge, please, for your safety. If we're coming up, we're pushing to the feet and the hands at once. Press the chest and the hips to the sky.
3 breaths in whatever back bend you've chosen. Counteracting all that hamstring openness. You gotta do some psoas opening. One more inhale here, roll the thighs toward each other. If you're in full wheel to come down, start to bend the elbows, tuck the chin to the chest, place the back of the head down first. Find yourself in bridge and then roll it all the way out. Nicely done, everybody. And we'll just knock the knees over to the left, windshield wipe, let it go. The doing is done. A little bit of twisting to release the back here, and then we'll find our way to our final resting pose of Shavasana. Send the legs forward and long, feet flop open to the pinky toe side. Let the palms rest face up. And this final act of kindness, integrating your practice this morning. Total relaxation right now. Allowing the body to remain perfectly still as you breathe some movements back into the body, awakening a deeper breath, awakening some awareness. And thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles, head falling side to side. And bending into both knees, roll slowly to your right and just be held here for a moment. And using the strength of the arms, make your way up to your comfortable seated position. Let the palms rest face down. Let the eyes be closed. And thank you all for sharing your practice today with me and with each other. We'll close our time together with a collective exhale. Please receive your deep breath in. Bring the hands together at heart center, thumbs facing towards you, fingers out to the world. Namaste.